Hey, everybody, this is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Debbie Fiorino, Chief Operating Officer of World Travel Holdings. But we also know them for all of their holdings. They have a lot of suppliers. I mean, just to name a few, Villas of Distinction. I mean, they have a lot of holdings. But as far as the travel advisor is concerned, up until this point, they've had three interesting brands: Dream Vacations, Cruise One, and Cruises Inc. We are going to talk about changes to that program. This is Insider Travel Report. First of all, congratulations on being, among all your other awards, a godmother of an AMA Waterways ship, the AMA Sienna. That is just a wonderful tribute. What was that like?
You know, the word I use most often is magical. It just truly was it was magical from the moment I knew I was asked to be a godmother, but certainly the day, the event, the week, everything was just magical about it. It was just such a wonderful moment.
Well, for those travel advisors who missed it, my partner, James Schillinglaw, interviewed Debbie on the ship.
Yes.
And there's scenes from it. And so if you want to get into more detail, go look for that.
Yes.
Now, but what I was saying to you earlier was, what's it like to be a godmother on a ship where everyone's treated like royalty and godmothers and godfathers? What was the difference in?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, I honestly, they treat you so well, especially on these AMA Waterways river cruises, that it's hard to distinguish. My girlfriend, one of my best friends, came with us, and people keep saying, you must have been treated like royalty being with the godmother. And she's like, honestly, I've been on others and I always feel like I'm treated like royalty. So, but just everyone was so happy. You know, I'm sure christening is always a memorable, remarkable experience, but I think especially because we're coming out of the pandemic, and just the pent up demand for being together and to do it then was just, it was truly magical.
So now, I mean, as a godmother, your picture's in there or something?
It is.
So you didn't go anywhere and carve your name in something?
No, I didn't have to. Actually,
have to. Okay.
No, I didn't have to. So the picture's up there. My friends and my husband all took a picture with my picture. But even better is I practiced smashing the bottle 2 days prior to make sure that I had no problems. And I put a dent in the side of the ship. And then the actual smashing of the bottle, I put another dent in the side of the ship. And I asked the captain, will you take those out? And he said, oh, no, those are your mark. And those stay there. So that was my writing on something. So. Okay.
For the uninitiated, let's explain the relationship between the three brands and then talk about the changes.
Sure. So, as you said, World Travel Holdings has many different divisions and holdings, but for this division, which is what we home-based division, we have three brands and two models. So we have a franchise model, which started off as Cruise One over 25 years ago, and in the last 5 to 6 years, we launched Dream Vacations. So Cruise One and Dream Vacations is a franchise model. You get to choose the brand that fits best for you. Then we had what is referred to in the industry as your traditional host model. I mean, we're all hosts at the end of the day, but a traditional host model, which was Cruises Inc. And it was a much lower cost to entry, less commitment from a contract perspective for people who want to sell travel that came into Cruises Inc. So that's how we've been set up for many, many years.
So, okay, that's how it was. It was three distinct groups. But now as you look to service the travel advisor and you're looking for the best way to do that, are you finding that the host model, the classic host model, is not even as good as what you could be doing if you took that host model and somehow merged it with the franchise model in Cruises One and Dream Vacations? Is that what I'm getting?
Yes. So that's exactly what you're getting. So basically, we're excited to merge these two models together. We're still in the host business. We host franchises and we host independent contractors, but we're able to focus and put them together. And so, you know, this division is the fastest growing division of World Travel Holdings, and we want to double down on that success. And we want to put everyone in the same model so that we can support them even better, because there is an opportunity today as an independent contractor within Dream Vacations and Cruise One as associates. And then there's also the opportunity for people who want to become a franchise themselves.
All right. So someone in Cruises Inc. Has been given some choices now. What were they asked to decide between?
Absolutely. So they're asked to decide between whether or not they would like to become an associate or a franchise owner. And part of that offer was explaining to them more about what associates what does an associate look like, right? And so to understand that they look very similar in terms of sales and booking volumes as an associate. But what do I get? But what was really great as we did this was we have so many associates today that we've always supported through our franchise owners. The franchise owner supports them and WTH supports them, obviously. But as we thought about moving Cruises Inc. in, there were a lot of great programs that Cruises Inc. had that now all associates are going to get. So Cruises Inc. members had, obviously their own website. Associates only had the website of the franchise owner. We are now allowing associates in the short-term future to have their own website underneath the franchise and be more personalized.
All right, so let me get this straight. So a Cruises Inc. Member can decide to be an associate or a franchisee. If they want to, they can go either way.
Absolutely. They can go either way.
The associate is very much like the hosted, the relationship that they've had, but with perks from Cruise One and Dream Vacation, and conversely,
and vice versa.
It seems like there were some things that were stuck over there over the Cruises Inc. side that can now benefit the other
associates.
Brands. Wow.
Yeah, okay. It's taking the best of everything we have and is bringing it all together and making sure that at the end of the day, host agencies, which are traditional hosts, franchise units, we're there as the host to support travel agents who are typically independent contractors to be more successful than they could be by themselves. And so that's what we do every day, whether it was with the two different models and the three brands that we had, or now just focusing on one model and making sure that everything we do benefits all so that everyone can grow their business. And so what happens with that is you just get to focus more. And I just believe that you have to continue to evolve as a company. This business has been around for a long time and, we've obviously enhanced it. We've invested in it. But at this point, this kind of merger and change is going to bring it to the next level.
Right. So it's all under this one model with the benefits of everything being shared by all, which is great. But I've always wondered about the names. Now, you said you're keeping the names, but I've always loved Dream Vacation because it's so broad. I'm sure you feel the same way, but the other names aren't going away. So a travel advisor can decide what name they want still, but they're all going to be under the same platform?
No. So we won't be using the Cruises Inc. name.
That's okay.
Yep.
So that is going away.
So but the company's going to keep the rights and the trademark to it because we have bookings that are 2-3 years out, number one. And so we'll be redirecting people who have the cruising name to our other website. Yeah. And we have no intention of letting that name get in the hands of any competitor.
Right. But I'm just rethinking with future cruise credits and all that, the name is still on contracts and what a nightmare. But okay. Next question. What's the time frame for all this?
Yes. So basically, we announced a few weeks ago, and we've been working internally to make sure that people understood their options, working one-on-one with every individual, trying to just, make sure that they make the right decision for them. They'll make decisions by approximately December 1st of which way they want to go. Some people have already made their decision. They're excited. They're ready to go. They want to sign their franchise documents and become a franchisee, rebrand, get their customers ready. Some have already affiliated with some franchises because they know them. They've been in the same network for so long. But others are continuing to make their decision by December 1st. And then it takes time for the company to transition everyone over. So by mid-February, we should be all transitioned.
But that's interesting because I'm going to be seeing you guys in November.
Yes, you are.
Your national conference. And how is this going to change the shape of what you're presenting? Because this is going to be a subject of discussion.
Yes. And, obviously it's going to allow us, our theme is together. It's going to allow us to come together literally in person now and celebrate where we're going. Allow some of the people potentially they have still some decisions to make before December 1st to meet with other franchise owners and have conversations and see how that clicks.
That's really good.
But we'll continue. Yeah. And we'll continue to celebrate Cruises Inc. and what they did in 2021 because, they're still in that model and so we'll continue to recognize them at this conference. But, it really is. I was talking to one of the Cruises Inc. members that is coming over as a franchise. And he's like, I remember being there for when we launched Dream Vacations and I wasn't Cruise One at the time. I was Cruises Inc. So it didn't necessarily have an impact on me, but I remember how exciting it was. And I think that's the same way. This is an exciting moment for us all to make a great decision for where we're headed.
I really like the fact that the timing is such that everyone, I mean, you are such a family-like organization that everyone can now be together and help each other make the right decision. So that's pretty good timing.
Absolutely. And again, it comes down to being able to make sure that we're offering all the benefits of how to grow your travel business.
So we're going to meet on Celebrity Apex.
It's going to be a great conference. I mean, I've seen some of our peers and others go on their conferences and just travel in general. And it's been so long for so many people, and it's been so long since we saw people in person. So there's going to be a lot of ugly crying because we're going to be happy to see each other for the first time, which Alan, I can do sometimes. But the excitement of being together, and that's why we named our conference together this year. There wasn't, to us, no other perfect name. And I think it also signifies what we're doing with Cruises Inc. We're coming together. We're not going anywhere. We're still a host agency. We still have a place for people who want to be in the traditional host. But I actually believe now, not only do you continue to get all the benefits you got by affiliating with World Travel Holdings under Cruises Inc. as a host, you get all those benefits, plus all the benefits of being with a franchise owner who can really mentor you. One of the biggest things our agents ask for is mentor programs. And we've tried different things, and we obviously have coaches and we have all those things. But to really, if someone's especially new in the business or just growing their business, to have a franchise owner who's been there, done that, spend quality time with an associate, I think it's just going to really expand some of those businesses for those independent contractors that really want to grow.
Cruises Inc. members have all the support. But what about a Cruises Inc. member that they've been there, done that? They've been around a while. I mean, they will need to understand maybe how to enter the new program, but they don't need as much mentorship. What's it like for them?
Yeah. So basically, that's why there's choices. So if I'm a Cruises Inc. member, I've been around for a while. I'm really well at what I do, but I don't need a lot of support. I could buy a franchise. And again, there's great value if you have a lot of volume already today to get a franchise. So, we do that anyway, but for these agents, we're going to do special things for them as well. But if they want to become their own franchise owner, that's great. But if they don't, they just want to be an associate of someone else's, but they don't need that hand-holding, they don't need that mentorship and growth, then they can still go under a franchise and still be very independent. Remember, all of us have independent contractors. That's why we use that word.
And are you acting as a matchmaker? Are you helping these Cruises Inc. people to find the right home?
That's a great question. So we are definitely helping people who need help find the right home. We've done surveys to the franchises to see who's interested in having more associates. We've done surveys to the Cruises Inc. agents to see who's interested in becoming an associate. And then we're matching people up. I wouldn't say match. I'd say we're providing information to them, but here's some people for you to reach out to because they're independent. They get to make the choices, but to help that. Some people have really great relationships already. They've been at our conferences together. Some don't, but we are going to make sure that everyone feels that they have enough information to make the right decision for which franchise unit might be right for them.
It's an amazing thing as we watch ourselves go through this ordeal. I know from our side, the numbers of travel advisors who receive our newsletter daily was at an all-time high in 2019, all-time low in the 20s, and we're coming almost back now. Are you seeing the same thing? And also, I'm hearing there are new to travel advisorship people joining at this time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Quite honestly, when the pandemic started, we were concerned, obviously, about recruiting and bringing people into the industry. And it really did not slow down to the extent that we thought it would. And obviously, no one knew what was going to happen with the pandemic. So I think people probably got in thinking it would be a couple months. Then we thought it'd be 6 months. Then it could be a little bit longer. But they continued to join. And I think especially now what they're joining is because they do see the light at the end of the tunnel, number one. And you read articles every day in the Wall Street Journal and all, in consumer press stating how valuable a travel agent is in this day and age. The travel agent was already coming back quite significantly in 2019 because we used to quote articles then. But now since the pandemic, where people were left stranded, they had to call centers and wait on hold for 8 hours. They just find the value that a travel agent can provide. And now they have new things that they don't know about: COVID testing, vaccination requirements, all these things. And so I think business people are seeing that getting into the travel space is a good business to get into because we're going to come out of it and there's opportunity there. We've been saying here at the company, especially Brad Tolkien, that, when you open the paper at the end of 2022, there's going to be number one industries, and one of them is going to be travel. And so getting in now is really a good opportunity.
Well, I guess people who stop to think about and handicap, like, what am I going to do next? Like, just like what stock am I going to buy? That repressed desire to travel, that explosion. It's like, how can I get in on that? But that's just an intellectual, like, exploitive kind of thing. But the other side is the emotional. It's like, but I like travel, and I could maybe do some good. And so all of that's going to come together. And maybe that's why we're seeing this new upsurge of
Absolutely
travel advisors. Well, I'm glad you're there for them. Let me ask you about, you guys are always in the forefront with veteran programs. And so if I remember correctly, you would give away franchises. So it was never part of Cruises Inc.
Yeah, we had some discounts and stuff for Cruises Inc., but really the big program was around the franchise model.
That's unchanged.
That's unchanged. We give away, actually, we do it every year. We branded it Operation Vetrepreneur, and we give away at least 5 franchises every year. We've had other years where we've given off more because of community heroes or because of anniversaries. And we're just, we're thrilled to continue to do that. We're constantly ranked number 1 or number 2 in some of the biggest rankings, like Entrepreneur Magazine and Military Times. And we're really proud of it. And giving back to our veterans and our military is something that we feel is just something that we love to do because of how much that they've given to our country, for sure.
I feel like we've said everything, but is there any other thing, if you search around in your brain, that you want to tell our over 90,000 travel advisors before we see them again at your national conference? What would it be?
I would just say that, it's the pent-up demand is real. Like, just in general, I think, we have to pull together as a travel agency community to make sure that there's lots of business to go around. We want to make sure that we're there for whoever wants to be part of with World Travel Holdings. But for all travel agencies out there, we have to continue to make sure we promote the value of a travel agent or a travel advisor, as we've been calling them as well, because it's so critical for people to use a travel advisor. And I would just say, with our changes here at World Travel Holdings, especially in this division, that this is about growth, this is about evolving, and this is about supporting people to be even more profitable and more successful. Whatever that success looks like for you, there is a home at World Travel Holdings, not only in this division, but on all our divisions in multiple different ways. And we want to continue to make it better.
So if a travel advisor is just interested in finding out more about franchises, how can they get involved? How can they look it up?
Sure. It's dreamvacationsfranchise.com. And that will give you the information about the franchise opportunity. There's a form that you can fill out, and we'll reach out and get you more information for sure.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Thank you for explaining what's going on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us the scoop, Insider Travel Report.
Yes, we did.
And we will see you soon.
Thanks, Alan.
This is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.